I'm a lonely little petunia in an onion patch, an onion patch, an onion patch.
Oh my gosh. Pose myself.
Focus.
Welcome back to the Hesitant Homesteader. We're out with our families at Barb and Dick's, which is one of our favorite places to come. We come out every summer and get our strawberries. So we're out here and Dick is actually going to teach us, not everything he knows, just a little snippet to help us with putting our own berries in at home. So hang out with us today. Hopefully you can learn something. Okay, so tell us how, if you were going to just start a berry patch at your house from nothing.
As a homeowner,
As a homeowner, what are we doing?
I get some jewel plants.
Jewel plants. So you grow them from plant, not from a seed.
You buy the plants.
By the plants, okay.
However, if you want to buy the world's best tasting strawberry, get what's called early glow. Early glow
I think
is
we've got some of those too.
It is the standard. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's always a 10. And we used to raise them, but then it got to the point we kept losing them to frost because they flower so early.
Okay.
They also have a tendency to get thrips in the flowers, so then the berry doesn't get large. Early glow has the problem of, though, you will get 2 big berries, and then all the others will be that big. But, in terms of sweetness, but in the home gardener, a gardener would get some early glow and get some jewel. And the early glow in town will make it, because you don't get that frost we get out here. You have to understand, this farm lost every berry crop for 5 consecutive years.
Really?
Now you tell me why you mess around with strawberries after losing 5-year crops. Every year was something unusual happening.
Oh, yeah.
Some weather-related phenomenon. And we, either a late frost like 20th of May, you're in full flower, 20th of May, get late frost. You can do things to help that out, to prevent some of that, but not successful. One year it simply rained, much like this year, and they did not pollinate.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would interfere with pollination.
So you have to be patient when you do strawberries.
You have to expect to fail.
Expect to fail. And be okay with it.
That's gardening.
Yeah.
You have to understand, and there's a whole new world in understanding what soil is. Soil is, people say, soil is dirt. You take a handful of that and pick that up, you have a handful of life that is full of living organisms, single-celled, multi-celled, animal life, plant life, and some forms, believe it or not, in between. They don't know how to classify. That's alive. And you want to, in your culture method, you want to maintain the health of that soil. You see? And there are little tricks you can do. And for instance, when I drive through with a tractor, it compacts the spaces, especially if it's wet. Unfortunately, with strawberries, you can't prevent a lot of that, especially with the straw down. I am tempted to set the field on fire. burn the straw off so that the soil underneath will dry out.
Okay.
Because it can't breathe now. In your sand, you'd have no problem. But I have to get in here and I use a rototiller behind the tractor, and I'll just chop this all up, you know, and try to get the straw to enhance the rate of decay.
Okay.
And get that organic matter down, mixed with the soil, because it is so important to maintain a proper level of organic matter.
So these fields out here, if you've been doing that, these have had years, decades of straw being incorporated back in.
And if you look right there, you can't tell one bit of it.
Yeah.
Our sandy soil can be converted to a clay soil with just only 20% additional clay added to the sand. And that then changes the complexion and the adaptability and the usability of that soil significantly. So
It's not so easy to go the other way though, is it? If you got a clay soil, can you just add?
no.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to work that way. You would think, yeah, you could really load it up with sand and change the complexion of it with limited success, I would think. Like this. Now, many growers plant on a raised bed. They have going, and I used to do that. We used to go in with a tool. We would raise up a mound of dirt like this and set the berries on top of that. That is significantly a better way of doing things in the sense that strawberry roots like oxygen. And when you have an elevated bed, you see, that tends to be looser and not compacted. And so, your situation that you're saying, you want to believe it. I do.
I didn't really need to do raised beds then. I should have just put them right in the ground.
Well, years ago we planted on a bed about this high and knee wide, and we worked very hard to sustain that. It became such a problem because you have to have special equipment and so forth. So I just gave up and went back to planting on the flat. But as I planted on the flat, these are all slightly raised because as you cultivate, tend to bring soil in.
Okay.
And if I get my inch on that, understand what's going to happen. If I put an inch on here, I'm going down an inch here. I'll wind up with a change in elevation for next year.
Okay.
So where do you purchase them? Because you obviously are buying a lot of strawberries.
Well, I don't want to give a free commercial.
We'll cut that.
Norse, we buy all our plants from Norse, N-O-U-R-S-E, Berry Farm out of Massachusetts.
Okay.
They provide you with excellent quality plants, and
Awesome.
they will. When they came in July last year, they came in a package that was wrapped and insulated. You know, they normally like to ship in April, but that's our supplier, and they're all available on the internet, Google, and so forth. There are other companies. There's some out of Michigan, but Norse has always given us super quality plants.
So how long have you been growing berries?
We started here, I grew up here, left, and told my dear wife I needed new employment or the guys in the white coats were going to come get me. So we returned here in 1978. Or was it 77? It was 77 because we experienced the blizzard of 78. And the first berries were planted in I think the fall, that following spring, 78, the first berries, maybe 77, I don't remember. But like you, I put out 8 different varieties. And of course I knew what the characteristics of some. But in doing that, I judged my flavors, my textures, and my response of the plants in our soils. Those were the issues we used to determine, make our selections. And we came up with Early Glow, which was just tremendous for several years. But then it got to the point we simply could not get the crop. So we moved away from Early Glow. On a scale of 1 to 10, Early Glow's a 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, Jewel, in my opinion, is a 9. It's not as sweet as Early Glow, but it's certainly got the flavor. And
So you left but came back because of family and just wanting to be closer back here. What made you come
I was a school teacher.
back? So you left for a school
Enough
teacher.
said. I taught for 13 and a half years in a school with some 2,000 plus students. And it was in a city. And I'm a country boy.
Oh, fish out of water then. That's probably pretty different.
Ah, yes, quite an adjustment. Anyhow, with that, we returned from eastern Pennsylvania to here. I was a country boy in a city, and that just wasn't going.